Yay. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, whenever you're watching this. Thanks for joining Coffee Talk. And I'm here with my friend Chandana from India. Where in India are you?
I'm from Delhi.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what's up? What do you want to chat about?
It's just so wonderful to be here, Julie. And it's just at this during this lockdown, I've realized what a gift technology is.
So
It's
true.
like, yeah, all of us all around the world not being able to meet each other, not being able to hug each other, see each other, yet it's just a Zoom call away to really see each other and to really receive each other and to be able to be the gift for each other, which is something it's been such a massive shift in my world because I was always scared of technology, literally scared of technology. I was like,
Ah,
I'm not going there. Oh no, I just don't get it. Zoom, okay. WhatsApp, good. No more than that. Facebook, all right. No more than that. And
that's so
now it's like,
interesting.
yeah, and now it's just so beautiful how, look at you sitting in beautiful San Francisco and me sitting in beautiful Delhi and people from all around the world being able to join us and have coffee together.
Hmm.
How
Or
awesome is
whatever.
that?
Some
Yeah.
other libation too. Um, what was I just going to say? Oh, one of the other cool things that came from this is doing classes online and especially the energetic classes with Dane.
Yeah.
And we all noticed how we can actually facilitate these energetic processes, not the ones that are hands-on on the body, but the ones that are over the body, that you can do it at a distance and that you can actually
Yes.
receive at a distance almost easier, almost not quite, than when you're in person in class.
And that's when you actually get the idea of we are all connected. The ripple effect that we talk about, and we've heard, at least where I can talk about myself. For me, the ripple effect of the butterfly flaps its wings here and there in Japan, there's a tsunami, was
Mm-hmm.
just a story,
Mm-hmm.
till I actually started to receive the energies, the vibrations, the shifts, the change, through, like you said, like Dane giving an ESP or a SOP, and we attending the classes from the comfort of our homes and receiving as much change as we would or could if we were there in life, in person. So, I mean, if that's not miraculous and if that's not magical, what is, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. Can you think of times when you've like done sessions at a distance?
Yeah,
Um, yeah, maybe
yeah.
share a couple and
Oh, I just had one today. And this lady hasn't done much of access. She's just done the bars.
Mhm.
And she insists that she doesn't get energy. She's like, I just don't get energy. When I run the bars, I don't get energy. So she was like, if I have to do a session online, I would never get the energy. That was her point of view. And yet, when she came on for a session, she was literally melting. And you could, when your body starts to melt, that solidity that starts to just melt, and your body starts to just kind of go into this
Mhm.
relaxation.
Mhm.
And it's so wonderful to see that. And when we wound up, she was like, wow, this stuff really works. I was like, you think I'm just barking up a tree? Yeah, it does.
I know
It
it's
works
it's it's
beautifully.
amazing when somebody brand new acknowledges it,
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, wow, I can feel that." I
How true.
remember after Maestro several years ago, to practice the Symphony of Possibilities, Dane was saying, do 200 sessions before you
Yeah.
start charging a normal amount. So I posted something on Facebook saying, I'm doing like $50 or $75 sessions or whatever. And I had people from all over the world, and it was so cool. Like I had somebody who scheduled a session when she was in a bus in Taiwan or like just somewhere like really remote on a bus. And we were FaceTiming. She somehow had internet. And
How amazing is
like
that? Wow.
she was like, oh my gosh, it's changing. And everything changed like so fast. It was like 15
Yeah,
minutes and
absolutely. Yeah.
all of her big problems melted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is the beauty of energetic work. These sessions that all of us around the world give, all of us practitioners. And, it's just something that doesn't just change. Today, I was actually speaking with another lady, and I said, it doesn't just change things in your life or my life. It somewhere starts to change the planet. Somewhere starts to change what shows up, on the planet in a totally different area, different part of the world. And you may not even know that you've been a contribution to creating that, but the universe does.
That's so true. I
Yeah. So
wonder
it's,
like what
yeah.
questions we could ask to become aware of the changes that we are creating and contributing to, so that it wouldn't just be, yeah.
It's like, I think I'm not sure who I heard once say that whatever's showing up around you is
Mm.
who and what you're being.
Hmm.
It's like if we really are willing to ask ourselves, who am I being that has me creating this? And who could I be if I would like to change this? Where we can actually be the energy instead of the need to change it from a totally different space of needing to do something or needing to have control of it to change it, but just the relaxation of what can I be here?
So true.
Yeah.
Just drink that in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like being in nature.
Yeah. So true. Absolutely.
And I love that we can be that anywhere. We can be that in the airport with tons of people, and we can be that in a tree-filled forest.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Build the muscle in the forest and then bring
It's
it
just,
with
just
you
our
wherever you go.
perception, right? It's how we look at it. That, oh, I'm not in the middle of nature, so I can't be and I can't receive from that energy. And I have to go into nature to receive from it. It's how we separate ourselves from the energy of it, instead of
Yeah.
recognizing that we can just receive from it wherever we are. Like you so beautifully said, at the airport, or wherever you are,
Yeah.
and you can just ask for it and receive it, literally.
Yeah. Have you ever done expos and run bars in a booth or something?
Yes, yes, I did.
So I found I used to do that a lot. And I even did jewelry expos and things like that. And I'd still run people's bars just because I could. And the thing that really, really surprised them is that they could fall asleep in 5 to 10 minutes,
Yeah.
even with all the noise going on. It's just that we're so used to being in reaction to the surroundings. So if it's really loud and all kinds of people are there, it's like that's all you can perceive. But
Yes.
when you start to use these tools and you start to expand, you can be connected to the earth wherever you are and still have that as your greatest noise. The silence can be
The
greater than
silence.
the noise
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah. So true. And that's when you actually start to hear the whispers. You start to listen to what is actually true for you and what is not true for you, because we spend so much time trying to comprehend, understand the noise. But it's like the noise engulfs us and we lose what is true for us instead of just asking what is true for me, even in all of this noise. What if I didn't have to get sucked in or engulfed by it and I could know what is true for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even
It's
remember
me.
the other day, I was in my head and I just said, okay, you're in your head. Stop it. Get out.
I love that.
You're in your head. You're not going to solve anything.
Yeah, just that. I love that. And it's you don't get it till you start to recognize how your body changes, how your mood. So to put it really simply, how
Mhm.
all of that shifts because you suddenly start to feel grumpy and heavy and serious. And that's, for me, that's one of the signs that I've gone to my head.
Mm.
Oh, I'm in my head. I'm grumpy. I'm heavy. I'm not happy. I'm not joy. And that's when I know, okay, once again, trapped in there. Just
So
get out
how
of it.
often,
Snap your finger and get out of it.
yeah, how often do you get your bars run?
Oh, if I could get my way, I would do it every day. But I do get it run about a week, every week.
Mhm.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a question that a lot of people ask who are new, and they're like, well, how often do I have to do this? And it's like,
Yeah.
it's not a have to, it's how often would you like to,
Yes.
because
Yes.
it
Yes.
adds so much to your life.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Creates so much of ease. It's literally like, when you read the bar manual and when you do your first bars class, and when you read about how it deletes it's like a delete button, when you read that line and you're like, how can I delete all that crap that I've held on to? I mean, I went into my head when the first time when I read that line. So I wonder what the bars can do. And actually, when I had my bars run the first time, Julie, I actually sensed, and I'm sure it was just me who sensed that. Nobody else sensed it. It's just me. I sensed this space that was literally like I could hear the sound of silence, you
Mm.
know, that. And it was so beautiful because there was no chitter chatter. There was no, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to, you are a mother, you're a wife, you're a child, you're a parent. You're like, you have all your different, you're working, and then you have traffic on the roads, and then you have your staff at home, and you have all of that which you're kind of handling.
Hmm.
And then suddenly nothing of that matters. There's just space. And
Hmm.
you're watching it and you're like, oh, that's just okay. And that's all something that's a contribution and it's beautiful. And what can I receive from that? Instead of the need to handle it, the need to fix it, the need to make it right, it's just that allowance and that receiving.
Yeah. It's almost like going on vacation.
Yeah,
You
true
come
that.
back from vacation, you're like relaxed, you can handle stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get this mini vacation once a week when you get your bars run.
Yeah, true
And then
that. How
life
often
is
do you
just,
get your bars run?
well, I usually prefer 2, 3 times a week.
Oh,
Um,
that's great.
but with the situation,
Yeah.
it's basically once a week. And I run my own bars quite a bit.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Or some
Nice.
other body process, just because.
Yes. Yeah. I love running body processes too. Oh, it just creates so much space and so much ease. Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. So, how is your coffee?
It's gone.
It's gone?
It was good.
Nice. Wonderful.
Yeah. What have you got
Nice.
going on this week? What are you creating?
Oh, I'm creating a few classes. Just got over with Talk to the Entities yesterday, which was so brilliant. So it's so wonderful to see people coming into your classes, coming into any class, in fact, for that matter, with especially with the Talk to the Entities class, with fear, with apprehension, with holding back,
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
wanting to be there yet wanting to hide. It's such an interesting energy. It's like, okay, I'm taking a step, but I'm taking 2 steps back.
Yep.
I'm taking a step, but I'm going back 2 steps. And it's
I don't
like really
know if I want
interesting.
to do this.
Yeah, yeah, right. And you just be an allowance of that. And because I just remember myself in that place, that space too, where I just wanted to reject. Now I will do all the classes of access consciousness. I will not choose talk to the entities. It was very clear in my world. And so when I see people like that, they remind me of myself, what I was some 7 years back. And I have such a laugh when I see that. And I'm like, wow. And then by the end of the class, they're like, wow, this is not just about, the ghosts and the spirits that, you know, that this reality talks about, that we've read about, that we watched, or this is so much more. This is truly about me. This is about inclusion. And I love the line, in the manual where Shannon says, we have another kingdom that's not been acknowledged, which is a spirit kingdom. Like we have the animal kingdom, we have the plant kingdom, we have the bacteria, we have the fossil, we have water kingdom, but we haven't talked about the spirit kingdom. And that is something that's so beautiful, because if you really start to include the spirit kingdom without the fear, without the judgment of it being wrong, evil, terrible, or whatever, what can that change on the planet?
It's so true. And, I guess until you experience it, you don't get the amazing, peaceful, blissful experience that opening to that brings.
Yeah, true that. Very true.
It's like, wait, what? If I'm opening to this, I get what?
I mean, that would be at the effect of them coming and taking over me and possessing me. No, you won't.
Yeah. It's so funny too, because it's whatever your point of view is what you'll see or perceive. And I just never had those points of view. I always thought, oh, this is kind of cool and this is interesting. And, what else can I learn here? Yeah, I have an intro coming up at the end of the week, and it is interesting to perceive the energy of the people who are contemplating. They're like,
Yeah.
And the people who are definitely like, do not contact me again about this. I have no interest in recruiting for you. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I was just saying, do you know anybody who might be interested?
Yeah.
It's just a question. You can say no.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But it's not, I don't really look at it as something that's that's something that we do know, right? People are scared out there. There is so much of wrong information out there. There's so much of twisted information out there that people don't have clarity with the spirit world. So when someone talks to you about that class, or about attending a class like Talk to the Entities intro, the immediate reaction is, barriers up, you're crazy, I'm not coming to you. And or barriers up, you're evil, I'm not coming to you. And it's so interesting, because if you're an allowance of that, that in itself can change something in their world.
It's true. Yeah.
Just your being an allowance of them holding on to their point of view can actually shift something in their world. And I've seen this over and over and over again. And I see the same people then, calling me a few months later saying, can you tell me more about that class? So it really is, for me, Talk to the Entities, inviting people to these classes is really about facilitating myself into allowance, facilitating myself into recognizing that they have choice.
So true. Yeah. Recently I've just been, I've been sharing it, and a lot of people go to, well, if somebody's grandmother passed away, like, can you contact them and for me, basically? And,
will you be the medium? Will you be
I don't really consider myself a medium. We don't do labels. And, what about you contacting them? There's an idea.
And that must be freaking them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. And all the beauty of the access classes, Julie, is that each one of them is so different. Each one of them. Like this week, I have a Joy of Business class coming up, a Business Done Different 3-day master class. That's got such a different energy. And then I have a Conscious Parents, Conscious Kids class coming up, which again is such a melting energy. It literally melts everything out of your world, every little solidification and every limitation literally out of the world. So, every time that we facilitate these classes and we attend these beautiful classes, there's so much that comes to the surface for you to look at, for you to acknowledge, and if required, to change.
Yep. I was actually looking at that this morning. There was a message in the Maestro thread about something happening in another country. And
Yeah.
instead of like, oh, this is this solid thing that's happening and I can't do anything about it, we're all like, oh, okay, what can we be to change it? And that's just such a different way of living.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
when you have enough people being, I wonder what else is possible, we change things for the world. It's not just, for that one person.
Yes. Yes.
And what if everything is changeable?
Yeah.
Literally everything.
Literally. What would we have to be to know that's possible?
Yes. I like it.
I like it too.
Thank goodness, like we've gathered enough people together who are willing to play with this and see what we can create. Because if
we can go
I was still on my own,
oh,
I mean, we get worn down by the world.
Yeah, totally. You would be
think
convinced you were crazy if you were on your own. You would be convinced. I would have been convinced I was crazy if I was on my own.
Yeah. I mean, I think about how when we all were younger and growing up, we were like these little tiny lights, all over the globe. And I remember going to Costa Rica and meeting you and going to Costa Rica, and how I met people, and even people sort of near me in my hometown, not necessarily next door, but in the area. And I was like, wow, there were these little seeds or these little light dots everywhere. And we were on our own. And we were like, this seems weird. What's going on with the world? Why are people so angry and shut down? What else is possible? And we gather together and it creates this huge possibility.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then it strengthens each one of us and what we know.
How true. Like you see somebody choosing in some part of the world and you may not even know them. But they're choosing what their choice creates somewhere inspires you to know that you can do it too. You can be it too. And keeps you going. It's like what they choose fuels you somewhere to know that, yeah, I can be that too. And it's so beautiful. It's also so wonderful with all the Facebook groups that we have, and with all this, like with technology putting us together, literally getting us, the possibility of us getting in touch with one another. It's so beautiful because wherever you may go in the world, you're never alone. One message in one of those groups, whether you're in Brazil, whether you're in India, whether you're in America, whether you're in Europe somewhere, just a message in one of those groups that, hey, can someone run my bars? Or, hey, I want to get in touch with one of you. And it's so beautiful how people literally reach out and they're like, yeah, I'm here. Where in the world do you find such people saying, yes, I'm here for you? And it's so beautiful because it literally gets you to recognize that, gosh, the universe has my back wherever I may be.
So true. Aw.
Hug.
Big hug. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
coming
you,
on.
sweetheart. Receiving.
Thank you for coming on and chatting. And I know it's late for you.
Yeah, it is, but that's fine. I'm actually going to the airport now to pick up my brother. He's flying in with his wife from Los Angeles tonight.
Oh,
I'm meeting him after 2 years. So
wow.
another 2 hours and I'll leave for the airport. So I'm quite excited. I'm pretty excited. Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I will say good night
Good night,
and
sweetheart, and
good
have a
day to other
brilliant
people.
day to
And
you.
yeah, and let's play some more
Yeah,
whenever
absolutely.
it feels like fun.
Yes. Sure. And thank you so much, Julie, for creating this. It's truly beautiful. It is so wonderful and so super grateful for having me here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you,
I
darling.
will see you soon.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.